Hello and welcome to PhotoWalkthrough.com. This is Tutorial 3, Chapter 2. Today you can see I've added some opening credits to the show, and I'd like to say a special thank you to the band Alamantra for allowing me to use their track Surf Babe for those opening credits. You can hear more of their music by looking them up on the Podsafe Music Network, that's music.podshow.com, or you can find more information on the band at www.alamantra.com, that's ALAMANTRA.com, and I'll put those links in the show notes. Some of you have noticed the What's Next poll on the home page. I'm going to alternate between an image of my choice and an image of your choice for each tutorial, and you can use the What's Next poll to tell me which image you'd like me to cover next. So don't forget to swing by the PhotoWalkthrough.com homepage, take a look at the options and vote for the image you'd like to see covered. For each tutorial I'm trying to make the source files available for you to download so you can follow along. You'll find them on the tutorial page, which you can get to from the PhotoWalkthrough.com website. For this tutorial there are 14 raw files, and even compressed they were just too large to download, so I've zipped up the extracted JPEG images, and you can download the zip from the tutorial page as usual. So let's get into it. Last week we edited the 14 raw files using the Adobe Raw plugin, and today I'm going to show you how to export those images as JPEG files and then stitch them together using the free Panorama stitching tool Autostitch. I'll put a link to the Autostitch website in the show notes. So, first of all, here's the 14 raw images we were working on last week, and I'm just going to select those. I click the first one, shift click the last one, and I'm going to go to Tools, Photoshop, Image Processor. And this is going to actually open Photoshop, and it's going to come up with this image processor window here, which we can just go down the steps 1 through 4. First of all, select the images to process. Well, we ran this from Bridge, so it knows that the images we want to work on are the ones that we have selected in the Bridge, so that's okay, that's already set the way we want it. Select location to save the processed images. It says here save in same location. That's a little bit misleading. What it's actually going to do is it's going to create a JPEG directory within the directory we're looking at, and it's going to put the exported images within that JPEG directory. So you'll see that in just a moment. And then when it comes to file type, we can either export as JPEGs, PSDs, or TIFFs. In this case I want to work with JPEGs because that's the file format that Autostitch expects. I don't want to resize it, but if I wanted to I could say I want to resize these to 1024 by 1024, and it will choose whichever is the longer dimension and restrict that to 1024. I don't want to do that. I want to export in a good quality, which is I think 12 is the maximum, so I choose 11 just to go a little under the maximum, and I don't want to convert them to sRGB. That's something I would typically only do if I was exporting for the web. Finally, we can, if we want to, run an action on these images. I don't have any action I want to run on them. I do want to add my copyright notice to them, and I do want to include the color profile in the images that are produced. So I'm going to press run on that. I'm going to pause the video. What it's doing while I do pause it is it's opening each image in RAW, it's applying those settings that we applied last week, and it's creating a JPEG file. So I'll just pause this for a moment. Okay, and that's all of the images exported. If I now go back to the Bridge, you can see we've now got this JPEG directory here, in the directory where we were just working. If I go into the JPEG directory, you can see here we have 14 JPEGs exported using the settings, those raw settings that we applied, and what I need to do now is open Autostitch and import those images. So I have Autostitch running over here. Here's Autostitch, and the first thing I want to do is I want to edit the options. This is something that Autostitch is not very good at. Autostitch, by the way, is free to download and use stitching program. Extremely good results. Now the first thing I want to do is I don't like the fact that it shrinks everything down. I want to work as big as I possibly can, and I want to make the image quality as good as I possibly can. JPEG 100% tends to be huge, and 95% will give you visibly identical results, but file sizes will actually be manageable. So when it comes to saving the JPEG, 100% I don't think is necessary. I'll go for 95%, and you saw a moment ago when I was saving with a quality slider of 1 to 12, I chose 11. So JPEG quality 95 down here, scale 100% up here, leave the rest of these settings alone. This is some arcane stuff in here that I don't really understand what it does, but I know that the results that come out of Autostitch are very, very good. So I'm going to leave all of those alone. I'm going to press OK. and I'm going to go back to File, Open, and then I'm going to go and find those files that I was looking at. It's the Cheshire Sky, Panorama 3, JPEG. And I'm going to click on the first one, shift click on the last one, so I've got them all selected, and I'm going to press Open. And what it's going to do next when I press Open is it's going to start stitching those files together. And while it does that, I'm going to pause the movie again, and when it's finished producing the stitch version, I will finish up the video. There we go, it's starting the work. This is going to take probably, for images of this size, these are huge files, there's a lot of them, and they're 16-bit. This is going to take a very long time, probably in the order of half an hour. So I will pause the video and I'll see you in a moment. Right, we're back. The Autostitch just finished, and the first thing it did when it finished is it popped up this window here, which I can now close. And over here, it's way too big for you to see. Let me see if I can drag it smaller. It's popped up our panorama in the standard Windows picture viewer. This image now has been saved. If I close that and close Autostitch, come back to the JPEG folder, here it is. This is the image. It's been dropped in the same directory as all the original images. In the next video I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you cropping and editing that image. It may be one, it may be two videos, I'm not quite sure yet, but I will see you in the next movie. Thanks a lot.